Okay guys, so you're thinking about buying a boat. Well, this video of how to buy a boat and what to look for is definitely for you. And if you're new here, then don't forget to click that subscribe button because you're just going to love what's coming up next. Welcome to Boating for Beginners. So guys, I'm actually in the market for a second boat, so I thought I'd bring you along with me in my search for a second boat, okay, so you can see first-hand, real-time, exactly what's involved when buying a boat, the sort of questions to ask, the sort of things to look at, and the sort of things to listen to, okay. So in this video guys, there's no actors, no fakery, certainly no Hollywood. This is the real deal, and what you'll see may shock you. Hey, and be sure to stay to the end of the video because I've actually got some questions for you. So I'm just going to follow him to his house where the boat is. Let's rock. So what will the boat reveal, guys? Will it be what I'm looking for, or will it be an absolute old banger? Time will tell. Wow, I think he lives in the outback here, guys. I think he lives in the outback. In the middle of nowhere. Ruins, look, ruins. Hope the boat's better. Hey, how are you, buddy? Good morning.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to have you too. So this is the Babe.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay guys, you're walking over to the boat. Has that boat been covered up? Has it been pre-washed, ready and prepared for you to view it? Okay, these are little telltale signs that somebody cares about the boat. They might be upgrading to a larger boat, that's why they're selling it. We don't know. You can always ask the question, why is he selling that boat? Okay, here she is, right. Poseidon 470, yep. Okay. Is there anything, Stuart, that needs attention at all?
Just a couple of little bits.
Yeah?
So this vent here has disintegrated with the sun.
Oh, okay, right.
And the rollock.
Oh, yep, yes. Yes, one of those guys for the oar in case the engine breaks down.
Yes.
Okay. And it's 25 horsepower, is it, Stu?
Yes.
Yep, lovely. Right. Did all the electrics work, Stu?
I believe so.
Yeah. The switching panel, oh dear, right. That's one of the things that needs replacing pretty much straight away, because obviously you don't want a faulty switching panel. That's if it even works anyway. Another job is going to cost about 30-40 bucks to get fixed, possibly even 50. Okay. And you've got, so it's a manual tilt, isn't it?
Yes.
So you pull the old girl back when you come back from a trip out. Okay. So this would have been where the tilt button is, guys, but it's actually fixed. So you have to manually pull the hood back. Number one issue is not having a trim. For those that don't know what a trim is, it's the button on the handset, on the lever, the power lever. It enables you to raise the engine or lower the engine. Now the beauty about that is, when you're approaching a wave, by having a tilt, it enables you to raise the engine and bring the bow over what we call the bow wave. Without a trim, the boat will just basically go straight into the wave, and that means a lot of people are going to get wet. Yes, especially if there's a reasonably large wave, it's going to crash straight through it and kaboom. The second benefit of having a trim is that you can raise the bow, and so therefore only 2/3 of the boat is going to be in the water, so therefore reserving and saving energy or fuel. Okay, and you can go a little bit faster because you've only got 2/3 of the boat in the water, so that's another reason to have a trim. So okay, so that's that. Got some lights there. Okay, the infamous lights. Okay, well this type of small boat, this is quite a regular common setup for this size of boat, and although they work perfectly okay, they're just not practical because they always get knocked and bashed about and sometimes actually just totally broken off. That's just something to look out for and be aware of if your boat has got these type of lights. And you don't know how many hours it's done to it?
No, I don't know.
No, the engine. Okay guys, I find that a little bit alarming. I mean, you wouldn't buy a car not knowing how many miles or kilometres it had done. You know, would you spend out that hard-earned cash not knowing whether the car has done 20,000 miles or whether it's done 220,000 miles, because obviously it reflects on the price. Okay, but you've got an idea that you think it's possibly the same age as the boat?
Yes.
And the boat was?
I think the boat's 2007.
2007?
I think it does say 2006 on the engine here.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Let's check that out, guys. It's something to look for. Because usually you would, the engine is always a good indicator to how old the boat is if you're not sure. But the port authorities will know anyway, should we decide to go ahead. What a lot of people don't realise is it's actually the engine that you're buying. You get the boat for free. Okay, so remember that, guys. You're buying the engine, because without the engine, the boat's a plant popped. It's just nothing. So it's the engine that's of the most importance, because you're going to rely on that engine to get you out and about and back again. Okay, so it's important to know as much about that engine as you can possibly get. So that's the engine date. So that's always worth looking at. And oops. You've have seen on my previous videos, guys, that these, we call them, well, the flush muffs, but I call them ear muffs. The props had some good use by the looks of it. There we are. See the wear and tear on that. Okay, guys, there's a real good sign there. The prop has had a lot of use, so therefore the boat's had a lot of use. I've highlighted the ding that's in the propeller. It's not a big deal. These things happen. It's all part of boating. Sometimes you misjudge the depth, and sometimes you will hit a stone or rock or two. Obviously you try and avoid all that, but obviously it's just part of boating. When you're coming into moor up or wherever on a beach somewhere, then you will come across the odd rock. But it's just something I wanted to point out to you. The paint has come off the fins of the propeller, so that's a real good indication that this boat has actually been well used. There's no way of getting out of that. The telltale signs are all there. So again, something to look out for. It was anti-fouled at some time or other, so it needs anti-fouling as well. Yes. So that's something that needs to be done. The lighting fittings will look okay, so that's good. Let's have a look underneath the boat and have a look at the hull. So you can see it was anti-fouled quite a few years ago, probably about 4 years ago I would have thought, possibly a little bit longer. Are the rollers okay on the trailer?
Yes.
The things to look for, guys, as well. Okay, guys, check the bow ridge. Okay, it's important to check the bow ridge because that's a massive indicator to whether the boat's hit any rocks when it's coming into land, whether it's coming into mooring, okay, whether it's hit any walls at any ports, things like that. Just little telltale signs that has this owner been driving this boat carefully, or has he just been having a party on it and whacking everything that's in sight, okay, or beaching it up and hitting a load of rocks, okay, so for carelessness really. Just check that bow ridge because that's a really important sign to whether this boat has been driven properly while out on the water. Here's this ridge here, a little bit of a patch up paint there, but it's smooth enough. There's a little knocked chip there that will need to be attended to. Okay, little telltale signs. Chip just there. It's been painted over. There we are. So it's a 4.7 metre length boat. Built around 2007, thereabouts. 2006, so 7. So it's a proper little fishing boat. Designed as a fishing boat. What's it like in here, Stuart? So yes, right. Okay, so there's your battery. Okay. And the connections to it, connections are pretty rusty.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
See that? Oh dearie, dearie me. Right, well guys, the minute I saw this I thought, well, there's no way that this has been serviced. Any service engineer worth his weight would have advised this to have got done, or actually even done it. The alarm bells are starting to ring, guys, because these are little signs that basic maintenance hasn't been carried out. There's your fuel tank. You've got two 30-litre fuel tanks, haven't you, Stuart? Yes. Okay, so there's one of them. Okay, so there's your bilge pump, guys, and you can see that there's some water in there. Does the bilge pump work, Stuart?
I've not seen it working.
No.
And it I have manually taken that water out with a little cup.
I
and it's
see.
just filling back up again.
Right, got you. A little cupboard there. Lock up. Okay, let's have a little look this side. The bumpers all look in good condition. How many times have you been out this year in it, Stuart?
I'd say 4.
About 4 times?
Yeah.
Any issues with the engine?
No.
Right, this cable wants replacing. It's all split and cracked. That's something that can be done. Yep, that was basically it as far as I'm concerned. There's absolutely no way that engine has ever been really looked at professionally, because any professional service engineer would have certainly replaced these cables, and these cables have been perishing for at least 4 years by the looks of it, and it pretty much confirmed to me that this boat hasn't been loved. Not necessarily because of the owner now, because he's only owned it for a couple of years, but even in that couple of years of ownership he could have got all this done, but more so from the guy that owned it before him. So yes, they can easily be replaced. It's an hour's job for the engineer, but they're just telltale signs to me that if they've not replaced the cables, then they've certainly not serviced the engine. Same with this rubber here as well. So new fitting on there. Okay, right, so that's that. Right, let's and it's ignition, yeah. And you've got a choke here, guys. This is a choke. For those new boaters that are looking at buying a boat, then that's a choke on this particular boat. And we're in neutral, that's cool. So Stuart's now just about to turn the hose on to get the water flow through the flush muffs. There we go. Okay guys, the flush muffs. I don't know whether you noted it or not, the flush muffs were well past the sell-by date. Way past. And that was a little sign to me. So he's relying on those flush muffs to get the water pressure into those inlets, okay, to enable the engine to be run and to enable the engine to be cooled down properly. And if there's any splits in those rubber cups, and let's face it, they do perish over a few years, all right, and in fact you can see the holder was all rusted as well. So these are just little signs that the owner isn't really that fussed about looking after his equipment. I'm not saying that these people are bad people, it's just that some people look after the equipment and some people don't. But when it comes to looking after a boat, you really need to be looking at boats that have been cared for and loved. Because then you know that the engine's more than likely been serviced when it should be. There might be a new battery. All those sort of things will give you confidence that when you pay your hard-earned cash over, all those big bucks, okay, then you know that you're paying for something that's worthwhile buying. Okay, Stuart, if you want to just turn it on, and we'll get it rolling. Okay, in a minute you'll see some jets in water. So there should be a jet coming out of here, guys, but there's not at the moment, so that means there's a blockage somewhere. Okay, Stuart. Yep, best to turn it off because otherwise it will overheat. Okay guys, we're going from bad to worse now. Right, the hole that you see in the middle of the picture, that is actually the outlet Okay, so that's where the water discharges from after flowing through the engine to cool the engine down. But the two arrows are pointing to scratches, and quite deep scratches as well, all right, which wouldn't normally be a problem, but it's another telltale sign that this is possibly a regular problem, okay? So again, something to note, guys. So basically what the problem is there, guys, is that there should be a jet of water coming out of there, which is actually the coolant. That's how the engine gets cooled, while the water going through the vents in there, and then obviously cools the engine and ejects out here. You've seen that sort of thing in my previous videos, and you can see it's actually pouring out from here. There are two reasons why it wouldn't discharge. Well, one could be a blockage, okay, so you'll see Stuart in a minute try and clear that blockage if there is one. But actually in this particular case, the internal discharge pipe had come away from the outlet connection. So basically it was just flooding everywhere inside the casing of the engine. So that was the problem anyway. But if you ever come across anything like this, guys, don't run the engine for very long. Just turn it off immediately, because the engine will overheat and possibly blow. The trailer looks in reasonably okay condition. 2007, and it's going to be pretty rusty. This is to be expected for that age. So let's see if we can clear this hole. Yeah, I think that might have done it too, didn't it? Did you feel any substance or anything?
No, I was running it yesterday.
Oh yeah.
For a little while, and the water was coming out.
Oh okay. All right.
So I don't know why it's not today.
Right. Typical that, isn't it? It's typical.
There is dust up there.
Yeah. We've got some wire now and quite a bit of muck coming out. Look, you had it running yesterday.
Yes.
Right. And it was fine yesterday, was it?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, there was a stream coming out.
Right, good. Okay, we're going to have a look under the hood. Okay, Guy, welcome to the heart of a Suzuki outboard. Okay guys, well I'm no engine expert by any means. In fact, I don't even know anything about engines for that matter. But I use my eyes and my ears to begin with, and basically just listen out for the engine, see if there's any rattles, is it running smoothly, does it seem calm, is it ticking over nicely, no odd noises or sounds coming from the engine. So that's the first thing I listen for. Second thing, you can check the oil. If it's milky, then that means there's water that's got into the oil. That needs changing immediately, because obviously it affects the coolant element of the oil. So if you continue running the engine with water in the oil, which as I say appears like a milky substance, it will actually totally ruin the internal parts of the engine. So avoid that. But it is these are just little signs, and obviously use your eyes and check to the engine. Does it look neat? Does it look tidy? Does it look clean? Is it covered in dust? Is it grimy, dirt, any oil leaks dripping down the side? Anything like that on the internal parts, obviously they're signs to look for. But I'll just use my common sense, using my eyes, my ears, and they've never let me down. Okay guys, right, so you're happy with listening to the engine, everything sounds okay, no untoward rattles or anything, you're happy and that you've seen the boat and everything looks nice, and any little issues that there might be, then they can easily get fixed. So then it's at that point, then I would arrange a second viewing, probably the day after or a couple of days later, to get your engineer or certainly somebody you know that knows about engines, just to give you peace of mind. Thanks for your time. All the best. Okay guys, you may be asking, if I've got a boat like this, why would I want a boat like this? Well, bigger isn't always better, guys. So although the larger boat will actually enable me to have some comfort and luxury on the water, well, a smaller boat will allow me to do things like this. can beach the boat, we can do some camping on the beaches overnight. How beautiful would that be? Plus, there are so many lovely coves and that around this island of Crete, so it enables me to hook it up on the back of the car, drive down south, drop it in for the day, and go and see all the different places. And that's what the smaller boat is all about. Remember Jason and the Argonauts? Well, I want to do things like this. And that, guys, is why I want a smaller boat. This particular boat's not for me, although it's a nice boat, nice people, but it does need a bit of work doing to it. And the boat's for sale for 3,500. All right, I might have got it for 3,000, whatever. Plus new battery cables, new engine cables, power cables, and new electric cables. So it's pushing the costs of that particular boat up and up and up and up. I definitely want to buy a boat that's got a tilt, because I don't want to be having to pull up engines while I'm approaching a beach. It's just not a good thing to do. I can see problems there straight away. I want a boat that's been loved and looked after and cared for and respected, and I want a boat that's not got a great deal to get done to it, i.e. any issues or any major issues. Don't mind a little bit of cleaning, don't mind a little bit of cable replacing, but when you start talking engines and things like that, then you know, forget it, in my case anyway. So that's why I'm going to give this boat a miss. Nice boat probably for somebody else that wants to do a few jobs, but I want to get out there, get on that water, and I also want a second boat so that I can use it for the winter time. Because the sea in the winter is beautiful here. We get days like today. It's now the 9th of February. Everywhere else in the world's got snow. Here on Crete we've got beautiful sunshine, although there's a bit of a breeze. Just look at the water there, guys. Check it out. Look how beautiful that sea looks. Now, if I had a boat for the winter, I would be out there right now. So guys, do you think that was a fair price? Would you have paid that sort of money for that type of boat in that condition? What would you have paid in your country? Was that boat overpriced, or was it good value? Let me know in the comments below. So guys, I hope that's been of help to you, that for anybody out there that's looking for to buy a new boat or a boat. So guys, I'm going to now have a look at another boat in the next video, so come along with me. Let's check this boat. This one could well be the answer. It sounds good, the guy sounds good, and he's looked after it. Come and watch me in the next video, and let's check this other boat out. Here we go, guys. Here we go. This is his drive. Believe it or not, how awesome is that? Morning, Bill. How are you, mate?
Very nice to meet you.
You likewise, Bill. Thanks for letting us come up and view your boat.
No, not at all. I'm very proud of my little boat, and I think you'll find it's in good condition.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for staying till the end of the video. If you like the video, why not place a like or even subscribe? It'd be great to have you on board.